All right, customer dropped this bike off to me today. Says he picked it up for some guy for like $1,000, I think he said. And he said it was running. His kid was riding it. And then his son said he smelled something burning. And he brought it back. And I guess the battery was getting hot. And I believe his fuses kept blowing. So I'll have to check those out. But he just wants me to get it, like, to turn on. It's basically all he wants. I told him $100 for the diag fee. So, I mean, for $100, I can get this thing to turn on. I'm sure of it. Just have to figure out what's going on. He kept reiterating that the battery was getting hot and it kept blowing fuses. So I noticed this wire's kind of chewed up there, but if you come to this side, it's got all these wires that are just, you know, like this wire here for the thing, the light. I mean, I guarantee those are touching each other in there. There's wires just hanging down. There's a horn down there. And if you look up here, he's got this scotch blocked to the ignition. That's going to the horn. And then there is a wire over here as well that is just exposed. And honestly, I'm just gonna have to hook the battery up to it and kind of see what's going on. You know, he says he has no spark. He's got the spark plug out of it, and that is sitting right here. So I don't know what's up with that. And one thing I did notice is this garbage going on right here. All right, let's address this lower control arm. As you can see, we have a nice saw blade to reinforce that. We have a boogered weld. This bar isn't even straight. I'll show you underneath, but it's been welded there, in the middle, and on this side as well. This is OEM, so I know this strap here is OEM because this has got a nice clean weld job here, but it is bent back there. If we go under here and look, I mean, you can see that it's been all welded right here. It's been welded right here. This isn't even straight. This is facing forward, so this is all bent right here. I mean, for $100, $100 will get you both of these control arms. And it's 1, 2, 3 bolts. That's it. That's how easy it is to replace these control arms. But somebody wanted to attempt their welding job, and I wouldn't trust that as far as I can throw that. I mean, the worst part is this guy bought this for his 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid, and supposedly he's been riding it like this. Someone's gonna end up in the hospital. Someone's gonna end up dead. That's all I can say about that. If you're doing this, don't ever do that. If it's just to get you by for the day and it's your machine and you need to get it back home out of the woods or something, or from your buddy's cabin or something, by all means, do what you gotta do. But don't sell it to somebody in this condition. I mean, I don't even know, I can't even, like, it's just like a big hole here. This has been filled in with wire. That's how bad it is. This stuff, this is what irritates me when people sell stuff like this and people are unaware of what they're looking at and then they purchase it and then I see it and it's like, I can't believe somebody would pay $1,000 for a bike that needed a bunch of work. You know, I get ridiculed for selling my nice, clean, almost perfect bikes for the prices I do from a lot of people online, whether it be Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist. I constantly get hater mail about my prices are too expensive. I'm ripping people off. No, guys, the people that are selling you this shit are the ones that are ripping you off because you're no wiser to what's going on with the bike. You come by and you just see the smile on your kid's face and you buy it for them because the seller isn't honest, didn't fix it, didn't tell you about it. He just hacked it back together and sent it out the door, and he made $1,000 off this. Oh, that's just irritating. So don't be that person. Because what goes around comes around, and when it comes around, it usually comes around twice as hard. So we'll get this one assessed and let them know. And I mean, that's this kid riding around on this. You know, I mean, if it were my kid, I definitely wouldn't trust that. I mean, I'd at least throw a new one on there if you can get one. But that's his own prerogative. If he wants to fix it, then he'll fix it. If not, then I'll just let him deal with it. But this thing has definitely seen better days, that is for sure. It is a pull start, it is electric start. And I don't even know if this thing runs. But let's get into the fuel here and we'll pull a little bit out of there. And actually, you know what? I mean, this thing should start regardless. I mean, if it's got a pull start. Spark plug's out, but he says he doesn't have any spark, so we'll have to figure that out. But let's see if we got any spark first. All right, let's hook up his battery and see what we get. I don't know where this battery goes. It probably just goes in plastic. Do I have long enough reach to get this anywhere? Just trying to find a spot to put this. Let's see if it'll reach down here. It'll reach down here? It should. Yeah. Positive is negative. So these wires will go like twisted in there. This wire looks like it's seen better days. But let's go ahead and see what we got here. As is, not messing with anything. Start with the negative. All right, let's go to positive, see what happens here. what is going on in here? There's so much questions to be asked right here. Get a screwdriver on there. All right. It's forward, neutral, cab reverse. Doesn't want to go in reverse. No ignition. So, get no power. It says it was blowing some fuses, so I don't know if they were these fuses or those fuses. So both of these are in there. Let's go ahead and disconnect this real quick. Actually, let's leave that on there and see if we got power. See if we got power to any of these fuses. Kinda gotta start there, I guess. No power to the fuse block. I wonder if any of these fuses are blown. I think that's extra. So power to here. No power to there. Interesting. Power to here, power to there. My guess is this fuse is blown. Oh, I think it's welded shut. Yep, only that. All right, I'm gonna disconnect this battery real quick. So we get this out of there. It was broken off in there. I guess the fuse is melted in there. Let's find out. So we get one bad fuse there. Let's see. That was a good one. There it is. Let's put this one in there. Let's see what happens. If it blows it, we know we got an issue. Yep, see, it blew it right away. All right, so obviously something is touching somewhere, something is shorted out somewhere, and we need to confirm that. So let me go ahead and raise this up. I think the compressor's on, but let me go turn it on. Make sure. right, since something is hot and touching, we need to find out what is hot and touching. Right there. So this is what I'm thinking is touching. By the looks of it, it's a very crappy tape job. Yeah. So let's go ahead and pull that apart. Let's pull this off, this connector. That way we don't have any issues with the spark. Now, hopefully I got to use this. Get another fuse in there and see what happens. If I have any good fuses, I'm not going to need fuses. Alright, well, I don't have too many of them, but these were 30s. Alright. Alright, so if I touch this, positive's the battery, let's see if it pops again. I don't think it popped. I think it sparked, but I don't think it popped. Maybe it did. Let's find out. As soon as I pull this out, the other ones have just been breaking. Yep, see, so we still blew the fuse. So something is causing the fuse to blow. It wasn't the light up front. What else could it be? Could this be on wrong? I really hate getting into other people's mess because you never know what they did. All right, so there's got to be something else touching somewhere else. All right, so we have something shorting the fuse out in this box. Something is grounding out somewhere, somehow, and that's not good. Like I said, all these wires going everywhere. And that's just a mess. Ground positive. Give this horn back. I guess I'm gonna search for anything that is got a open end on it, because at this point, that is the only thing I can think to look for. Is causing it to arc. I mean, there's so many questions as to what is going on. All right, so my next concern is over here. Let's take a look at this wiring harness right here. This looks like it's been band-aid back together a couple times. Get you zoomed in here, right there. I don't know. Let's undo some of this tape. I just have a feeling there's a lot of uncertainty here. Especially when you have a lot of tape around some wiring. Because this wire is out of there. I don't know what that wire is for, but obviously it was left out of the loom for some reason, and I don't know what that reason would be when they taped it back up. I'm gonna probably have to just cut that, I think. See if I can carefully splice this open. I'm just going to do a little by little, I guess. I hate doing crap like this, like cutting wires open. This electrical tape is so rock hard, I really have no choice. I'm gonna move you guys out of the way for a little bit. So what also concerns me is this has been rubbing on the exhaust here, and it looks like it's melted. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm gonna have to peel it back all the way to there and see if there's any wires melted in there. You know, this has been sitting on the exhaust. The guy that bought this said that the guy was a mechanic, and he was like a shady tree mechanic, I guess, and selling stuff out of his house, and kind of repaired stuff out of his house, and he said it was very like half-ass work, and I can see. So let's get this back to there and see if any of these wires are damaged, because I gotta at least check that out. Just to eliminate that. definitely cut, twisted back together, but I don't know why. And these look all right, I guess. I don't see anything at the moment. I'm pretty much at the melted part. So I don't see anything there. So let's go ahead and just butt connect that one back together. Hopefully I got enough to reach. Should. Yeah, it should be fine. Let's go ahead and cut a little bit of this off. I don't need all of it. We'll do that, and then we'll tuck this back in this loom here for now. I'll zip tie that all up in a little while. All right, so now let's try to see if we can find another rabbit hole to go down. Kind of just having the process of elimination, I guess you could say. Just gonna have to chase this wiring harness throughout this whole bike to figure out what's going on. Anything rubbing back here? Let me undo this one down here, and we'll see if that's causing an arc. Positive out. There's a ground there too. What is that going to? I don't know why. Ground going there. He's got that zip tied there. So obviously something was done there. Get rid of that. Basically just having to undo everything someone else kind of did. Let's see what we got under here. I don't know if this is smashed. I'm gonna have to cut that back as well. This wire, that positive wire right there. Need to peel this back, see what's going on with that. Because that's all dry rotted. Cutting my goddamn finger off. It doesn't look broken. But that plastic, that sheathing is hard as a rock. So I think this one's all right. Yeah, I don't see anything down there. Looks all right. I'll go ahead and cover that back up when I'm done. All right, so this is going where? That's just for the battery ground, right? Yeah, so we can cover that back up. I'm gonna leave this one out of it. They have this ground going in there too, which I don't know is totally right or not, but I'm just gonna run with that for now. All right, so I guess my next area of question would be this box here. So it looks like positive is going to the battery going here, and then this is going to the motor. But this says motor, but this cable I do believe is going, where is this going? That is this one. So this one is, in fact, going to the starter. So I guess the next question is, what's going on in here? It looks like it's pretty chewed up. I wonder if I just put a fuse in here without this and see what happens. I'm kind of running out of fuses here. So let's just go ahead and do this. So let's leave that off. Let's see if it pops this fuse just being like this. Because if it pops this fuse, then something's going on right here that we need to address. So let's see. So, no, it didn't pop the fuse. So my guess is it's something in here. Fuse is still good. So my guess is it's this connector here. Something's going on with this connector. Question is what? Well, I guess I can't say that. Let's see if I got power here first. I do electrical. I do a lot of talking to myself because, so yeah, I got power both sides here. Power to that terminal. Power to that terminal. All right. Yeah, like I said, I do a lot of talking to myself when I'm doing electrical because it helps explain things to myself, I guess you could say. All right, so we're good to this point. So it is when I hook this up. Now this harness goes up over the only other thing I can think of, something's going on in here. Fuse looks good. The fuse looks good. That fuse is good, I do believe. And that one, can't tell, hit flashlight. I think that's good as well. So something has to be causing this to arky sparky. Question is where? Where on this harness? Something arcing. Let's try one more time. Let's plug this in there. See what happens. I'm willing to bet it's gonna blow again. Yep, see? It blew. So it's obviously the wiring harness. But the question is where? Where on the wiring harness is it arcing? Where, oh where, on this wiring harness is it bad? Like I always try to look for tape. Like this all looks factory. I don't see any issues there. I mean, it very well may be this plug itself. This is gonna be a tough one because there are a lot of wires just hanging around. Maybe it's a bad ignition. Let's see what we got on the other side. We get back and forth until we find something that throws a red flag up. So the harness goes through here, comes through here. I don't see any other loose wires. Looks like someone tried to repair that bender there. What could be the problem? I don't see any other wires that are just hanging out. I wonder if it's just a bad ignition. like all the other wires, they're all like sealed up, taped up, tied up. Let's try this. Here's the ignition wire, right? Yeah. Let's disconnect the ignition thing. Actually, you know what? We can probably just get away with turning it off. I have one more 30 amp fuse that I'm gonna save. Let's try 25, 7.5, 5, 10, 30. Let's try 40. Let's put a 40 in there. Let's put this back in here. Put this 40 in here. Touch the battery. Yeah, see, so blue. So it's not the ignition. It's something with this plug. So there's something with this plug or this main harness, and I don't know where in this main harness. Where in this main harness is the problem. I mean, I guess I can unplug everything until I figure out which part of, till I isolate which part is causing it. Because that's going to the battery. That's going to the motor, it says, but this one goes to the motor, right? That one's going to the starter. Oh, crap. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So let's see if I disconnect these. Oh, jeez. Look at this. Look at this solder job. I mean, Jesus criminy. I'm talking about overkill. I mean, it's definitely soldered on there. Cover that back up so I don't arc it again. Um, If I could just get it not to blow the fuse. I just don't get it. So we're gonna undo these two from the harness and see if it's anything, maybe it's something in there. I'm gonna bet it's gonna pop this right away. Yep, see? It's popping that right away. Run out of fuses here. Gonna have to find some more somewhere. Now, did it blow because I wiggled it, or did it blow because I just touched it? Yeah, see, it blew because I touched it. There's not anything in there. It's gotta be somewhere in this fucking harness. There's nothing in, the other end's not going to anything. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm just gonna have to keep going around looking for stuff that may be causing it to short out. But there's not much of this harness. It goes from here, you know, I've already eliminated everything down here by disconnecting that. The only other option I got to do is fucking disconnect everything that I see up here. I mean, there's not a whole lot up there. Something's causing it to arc out. All right, so nothing blew. I did unplug the rectifier there. And as soon as I plugged it back into there, it blew the fuse. So now I know it's the rectifier, and I'll order one of those up and we'll see what happens. I thought for sure one of these wires was hitting that other end there. I'm gonna go ahead and just see if I can find one of these plastic pieces and replace this anyway. I mean, I guess I could just swap it over to the other side. I would think it would be able to do the same thing because that one's still intact. Let's run a little test here and see if that works. All right, got a new rectifier. A box of 30 amp fuses. Let's see how this goes down. I'd say let's hook this battery up and get a fuse in there. So we get a fuse in here. Goes on this side here. This one is gonna go up here where it originally went. I'm just gonna keep everything original to where it goes for now. And then we'll see what happens. If it doesn't blow, then we know I can button this back up. I actually do have a new connector coming because the old one is kind of chewed up. All right, so I guess let's plug this back in. get that in. And let's see what happens. Do you think we'll blow another fuse? I think so. No, no fuse blown. That's a good sign. Now, next question is, will it start? Let's see if we got spark. I don't know if we will, but we can try. I don't know if we're gonna have spark, because let's see what happens here. All right, I don't think we're gonna have a crank. Oh, we got a starter. So I'm gonna button all this stuff back up. Let's hook all these wires back up. There wasn't a whole lot, it was just these I think I have disconnected right now. And that's still good. Didn't blow any fuses in there. Cover that back up. And let's see if we can get this thing to run. All right, let's see if we got spark now, because I can't see on the other side. Let's see, let's bring this over here. So we got crank. Now I just need to see if we got spark. So I think I'll have you guys watch this, if you can. Let's get you in a spot where you can see that sparky plug. I'm gonna try to move these wires out of the way for now. So you guys keep an eye on that spark plug. And I'm gonna try to reach over and squeeze that plug. And then, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So maybe I can get up there. I'm gonna get up there. All right, let's see what happens. Do we got spark? We got spark. All right, let's go ahead and get that back in there. Go ahead and get that plug back in there and kind of go from there. So let me find a socket for that. Keep smelling this burning smell, and I'm like, what is that? And then I just realized the wife has just got home with her truck. It's all hot, so that's what I'm smelling. I'm getting all paranoid. because it smells like something's burning or like heat. So. Get this plug back in here and we'll see what happens. See if she'll fire up. Don't know if she will, but we made progress. I mean, we got spark now. That rectifier was bad. So I don't know if he bought a new one and put it in there, or what happened. The exact, but we'll see if this thing starts up, and then I'll button up these wires over here and kind of go from there. Alright, good. Put this plug wire back on there. Let's get you guys over here. See what happens here. Let's go ahead and see if we can crank it up. I got everything plugged back in. So the fuel is off, so I'm just gonna leave it off because the petcock is leaking. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna button up those wires on the other side, put it in a loom, and kind of go from there. Once I button that up, I'll let it run for a little bit. I'll put this back together, and we'll kind of just leave it at that. But I'm glad that was a pretty simple fix, honestly. I don't know what light he was talking about was coming on or not coming on. I don't know. Maybe these lights all work. I'll button up that LED light for him again, just so he's got a light on there. But, all right, let's go ahead and let's make sure again. Doesn't sound the greatest, but you know. Anyway. Like I said, let's button this wiring back up before it gets hot over here. I'm gonna put this all on a new loom. All this wiring right there, so it's not gonna get hot and melt. So I'm gonna take it off camera because I need to get in there, and this is just in my way. All right, so guys, little trick. If you need to get like electrical tape to wrap wire, take a marker. I use this because it's a little thicker, so I get more on there, and wind this like with the sticky side up, and it'll eventually catch on itself. And then you just keep winding it all around this, and then, you know, just in a line. And then when you go to put it on, you can just take it and basically, let's just say my finger is the loom, and then you can easily get, you know, more accessibility this way and just wind it that way, rather than having that hole, then trying to fit this whole roll under there and wind it. This worked really good. Get some zip ties. We'll zip tie that up. Yeah, start finding some new bag of zip ties here. I have to go to Home Depot and get some. So we're gonna go ahead and zip tie this to the frame because it shouldn't be sitting on the exhaust. So let's see if we can get some zip ties up through there. That'll keep that from melting on there again. Do a couple up here too. Maybe. Yeah, it's coming through. Let's do. I don't think that's going anywhere. That's off of there. I think we'll be fine with that. And let's just do one more. Can't hurt, right? Is it going behind that rubber? Yeah. Need to not go behind that rubber. Alright, so she's running. She starts right up. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a call. It runs like shit, but he said he just wants it running, so it's running. It needs a carb adjustment, clean, maybe a few jets, among some other stuff on here, but you know, I can only do what he wants me to do. If he ain't gonna pay, I ain't gonna play. So I'll message him back, let him know it's ready. All right, well, he's gonna come pick this up. Basically, all you want to do is get it running. Needs some work, that is for sure. He said he's gonna take care of the carb. I don't know what he's gonna do with that control arm, but that's all on him. I will take no responsibility for what happens if he doesn't fix that. So, the zombie bike is leaving tonight.